home consumers, let's just say maybe 10% take, okay? And out of the SMB marketing campaign, let's say 2% or let's say 3%. Let's say 3% of those customers take out of the marketing campaign. Why have we done this exercise right now? We've done this exercise to figure out what the initial starting point is going to be for you, the best starting point. Now, this is just a preliminary conversation, and I'm going to model it around a 1 terabyte pre-purchase of space, okay, based on the pre-purchase of 1 terabyte, because that's what you need. You're consuming 950 gig based on this analysis. Your gig rate is going to be, as you see up here, it's going to start at $4.50, okay? Now, because you're on this webinar, if you want to get started with us, I'm actually going to put $4.40, so we'll give you a little bit of a discount there if you want to reference this ROI spreadsheet. I'm going to pull this, drop this box down, and apply it to everybody. Now, what does this mean? $4.40 per gig per year, which comes out to a monthly rate of 37 cents per gig per month. Now, why haven't I broken it down to a monthly cost? Because you might want to line it up to some of those other providers that are going to be charging you monthly. And also, you might want to acknowledge what kind of revenue you're going to make based on a monthly billing cycle, okay? So, based on the lack of licensing fees and based on the lack of versioning costs, that's a very attractive price point, and you're going to make a lot of money on this product. And what do I mean by a lot of money? How are you going to market this? I'll tell you what I see is working and not working in this space right now, okay? What does not work? Especially if it's in a small to medium business. With the home consumer, you're hamstring. But with the small to medium business, the worst thing you can do is just sell this as an online backup account, simple storage. You've seen the product. You see that it's beyond that. It's an archiving tool and a utility for remote access and share. So you deliver this product as a full data protection item, okay, full business continuity. This is data insurance, and you can charge them accordingly. So for data insurance, if you're completely managing this product for them, that's going to dictate a cost. And when I say manage, I mean you're going to implement the tool, you're going to monitor and maintain it, and then if they lose data, you're going to configure and deploy the data for them. Does this take a lot of time? No. I've seen it overcome on an item-by-item, partner-by-partner basis, okay? This does not take a lot of time to do. But you're going to bill them for those services. They will pay a premium to be dropped off at the front door, okay? And they're going to pay a lot less to have it done with you than have an on-site service, okay? Maybe meaning another server in the background or an internal IT guy to do this. Okay, so what is realistic as far as how to charge them? What is the going rate for a managed gig? The going rate for a managed gig across the globe that I see is somewhere between the $2 and $3 range per gig per month, okay? So, simple storage sale, business solution, $1 per gig per month. Managed gig with all your services of implementing the tool, monitoring, maintaining it, $2 to $3. So if this is delivered as a fully managed service, you could come in with the best price in town and charge them $99 per month, which equates to about $2 per gig per month, okay? Now, I don't know how this looks. That might be low. It might be high. Depending on the way that you want to market it, that's completely up to you how much you want to charge. But is $99 a good rate? Yeah. If you charge any less than that, I think you're leaving money on the table based on what I've seen, okay? Now, if you want to break this apart and charge them for the account and then charge them separately for labor, so be it. However you want to model this. But wrapping this up in a nice one little figure right here, this little data insurance price on a per month basis for your managed solution, a lot of value. And this protects them from absorbing thousands of dollars in IT costs to recover a full environment when that takes place, all right? So specialized sector, what do we price them at? Well, the specialized sector, because of the lack of supply of providers out there, are going to pay you a premium. Industry based on our versioning technique. With any other solution, that's going to grow into a terabyte in no time. So they're going to be paying more than that, even if the gig rate is lower. I think you understand. So moving on, the home consumer. don't want to spend a lot of time on that, but if you're marketing to them, they're cost conscious. So let's put this at $6 a month. You'll charge them an annual cost up front, I would assume, rather than going month to month. And for $72, they get a 10 gig account. That's definitely economical for them. They can back up any system in the network. All right. With any other solution, they're going to charge you on a per seat basis, maybe $50 or $60 per computer. So that is a definite economic price right there. And you see the price point so low. But what I've done is I've pulled out the pricing over here to show you what your markup is. So with the SMB customer, your markup is significant. I mean, from 37 cents to $2, and then even better in the specialized sector, 37 cents to $3.50. It's almost 1,000% ROI. And then a little lower. You're making about 100% profit there, 100 to 200% profit in the home consumer market. Now, I've got to fill this out, the SMB marketing campaign. Let's say you charge them $99 as well. Okay? So we've done this to figure out what your revenue is going to be. Look at your revenue here, 22K, roughly 23K within the first year based on this pricing strategy. All right? That's healthy, I think. At the very least, it's going to stimulate your core competency because this product is very sticky. We see a 90% retention rate through our partnerships with this product. And if they aren't using your core competency, this may introduce them to that core competency and vice versa. So it's a very symbiotic relationship. Let's talk about what your cost to SOS is going to be. And remember, this is just preliminary. I don't want anybody to think this is the cheapest solution out there or the most expensive. We'll get a more granular discussion on what makes sense for you when you call in. This is just an exercise right here. So what's it going to cost for the space? If you pre-purchase 1 terabyte up front at a rate of $4.40 per gig per year, that comes out to $4,500. All right? You're going to have a question for me here because it's going to be based on rollover. You're going to say, hey, Brett, you're going to ask, I bought a terabyte. What if I only use half that terabyte, 500 gigs? What happens to the remaining gig once I've used, or once I've finished for year one? So I only used 500 gig in year one. What happens to that 500 gig that went unused? Do I lose it? My answer to you is going to be no, you don't lose it. It actually rolls over as a credit to year 2. So you have 24 months to consume that initial purchase. That's the beauty of the program. There's no stress. You're going to get the return on investment no matter what. And if you can't, with our help, get through a terabyte in 1 year, we're both in the wrong business. I'm going to say it right now. Okay? In any event, you can acknowledge that second-year credit for not only renewals, but upgrades and new accounts. So based on this exercise, if you only used 500 gig out of that terabyte in year 1, you would have 0 cost for space in year 2 because your credit would satisfy those renewals. All right? So you have the figure of $4,500 here. Let's talk about this one-time charge. And I want to explain and build some value around it before I talk about and entertain some methods for reducing that cost, because there's many, and depending on the partner specialist that you get, we're going to entertain whatever starting points necessary. So we're going to rebrand your client software application. There's over 1,200 points of rebrand that take place in order to get it to look and feel exactly the way you want. Okay? Once you approve of that, we're going to move on and create a portal system for you. These portals are going to allow you to create the accounts, upgrade them as they mature, and then monitor them from an accounting perspective, see the start, stop time, and also how much space they're consuming. Okay? In addition, we're going to create that web portal that gives you online access to that data, which I've showed you already. Okay? Once we're done with that portal system, we're going to rebrand all the marketing collateral that you've seen initially. We're going to give you access to the Partner Resource Center, which you can see on your screen here. Gives you access to every one of these little marketing pieces that have been successful for us over the last 10 years of business. We're also going to give you human resources. Yeah, I said it, human resources. This is unlike any other partnership that's out there. We're going to give you a consultant, which would be your partner specialist. If you're my partner, it's going to be me. I'll be more than happy to get on the phone with your customers if they're in the initial stages of the partnership. If you're uncomfortable talking through the product, I'll get on the phone and talk as a rep of your company about how great it is, and we'll sell it together. Obviously, it behooves our company as well as yours if you move through that terabyte sooner than later. So let us help, okay? In addition to the consultant, you're going to have an account manager. who's there with you through the life of your account to provide you access to our company, whether it's a certain division you need to get in touch with, whether it's a certain individual you need to get in touch with. We're going to provide that to you. Okay? In addition to him, you're going to have a technician by name that you can count on for answering any technical questions that you might have. One more guy, we have a partner delivery manager who heads up the development of your product. He also, more specifically, as far as your resource goes, he's going to take you through those dedicated series of webinars to build that sales, marketing, and technical know-how prior to launching this product. Okay? So there's a lot of value in doing partnership with us, as you can see. That figure has been summed up with all that support and training in a one-time cost, not an ongoing, recurring cost of $2,900. Okay? So before we get down to the final cost on this analysis, let's entertain some of the other add-ons that can go with this. So we looked at Pulse. Pulse was the centralized management console that allows you to remote control the backups. I'm a firm believer if you start with 1 terabyte, that I'm going to give this to you within the first year so you can look at it and see if it makes sense for managing your environment. Okay? So if you want to quote me based on this webinar, tell them, hey, Brett said you're going to include it basically 1 terabyte for that first year. Reference that. The second, web integration billing API. Now, for a minute, let's just think and entertain the idea of you marketing this via a website. Okay? Not only for the purposes of the consumer coming across your website and seeing what you have to offer, but just to make a more automated method for them to sign up with you. So we've created this division of SOS just recently. It's not a profit-earning center by any means. We've created it to increase and quicken the sales cycle. Here's what happened. Several of our partners went out to get websites developed, to tie in their merchant systems, et cetera, and spent anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 in dev costs. This is ridiculous. And what more, it slows down the sales cycle, selling that space. So we're offering that now. We're going to do that for you. Build your website. And I'm going to show you an example here. Here's a company by the name of Annapolis who we just built. We'll build a website, okay? You'll have the ability of using a template for this website, getting it in detail to configure with your website, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to build a website. We're going to make available the download client, which you can see here. We'll give you access to this vulnerability scanner, which I'm going to show you in a second here. That is a quick calculator for determining how much gig needs to be backed up. But you can see it automates the support tabs, all the ticketing systems. Everything's baked into this web portal. Now, I'll show you the pricing and sign-up page. Now, if you're dealing with small to medium businesses and they're going to be high touch, they won't be doing this, but your reps could just go through this and very simply put in the information and create an automatic billing method for it. So they put in the customer information, choose that ultra safe option, which makes you the sole owner of that passkey if necessary for compliancy purposes. Give them the availability of these plans, whether it's a trial plan, which will allow you to hand out trials, a different package, whether it's 3 gigs to 200 gigs, and then put in their payment method so that they'll have the ability of putting in their